Barbadians have raised concerns about the number of people they have seen homeless on the streets. However, President of the Barbados Alliance to End Homelessness, Kemar Saffrey, said his organization is working on the issue, but it is a process. So first I want you to tell me, have you been seeing an increase in people that have turned up homeless, and what are some of the demographics that you have observed?
So we would have been talking about an increase even prior to COVID, and we would have spoken to all the different agencies about the increase that will happen. We did it in the press as well that there would be an increase in homelessness pre-COVID, as I should say. Pre-COVID, there was an increase. COVID would have made it worse based on the situation of unemployment. We're also looking at persons losing their homes, family disputes, and a number of other factors would contribute to the increase in homelessness. So there's an increase, and there's now steadily, as we speak, an increase. And we've tried to find ways to assist, but the increase outweighs, what we already have currently dealing with. So if we have, I remember we would have said between, I think, September and October, that we would have basically been seeing one person per day. And that is only who turns up to the organization, not necessarily not necessarily those that we haven't found yet. So there have been that pre-COVID, into COVID, and now there's still that rapid increase, I should say, going on as it relates to homelessness.
And what are some of the demographics? What are some of the ages of people turning up homeless?
So we are seeing all ages. We have currently a female in the shelter that has 2 children, and those children age from 3 and 6. We've had women that were pregnant. We've had women that with 3 and 4 babies, and then some babies because some of them was mere 6 months, and still within that tender baby age of 4 or 5. And so the homelessness is not a respecter of age, and especially among the women when they come, they have children. I have multiple children. It is rare that I see a female with 1 child. It's always multiple children that they're coming with, and the situation is one that you find yourself as an organization in a complicated position, because now you have to you have to change your guidelines and your policy to suit the female, because whether our shelter is from 6 p.m. to 7 a.m. In some cases, we have, like the one that we have now with the female and the 2 children, we have to leave them in the shelter because we don't want the children on the street. But let me add, just in case Barbadians might be wondering why these children are not at school. The lady is not Barbadian. So it is a case now that we're dealing with non-nationals that are finding themselves trapped in Barbados for one reason or the other with their children. And we have cases as far as the Europeans, Americans, Caribbeans, persons that are finding themselves homeless. I want persons to understand it's not just about Caribbean people. It's how this situation with homelessness have affected people far beyond our shores and into the international waters as well.
What are some of the measures that your organization have put into place to ease the homeless issue?
So we have a number, and I want to make it abundantly clear so Barbadians can understand. The Barbados Alliance to End Homelessness is not a feeding program. It is a rehabilitation, reintegration organization. So most persons may look at us and say, okay, we are feeding the homeless. No, we take people off the street, we put them into our programs, and we seek to get them back into mainstream society. And we use a number of programs and services, whether it be from counseling, to mentorship, to coping skills, to life skills, to bringing in group counseling. We use a psychiatrist, psychologist, we use art therapists. We use a number of programs. We can help you get by your identification card. We can do job placements. We reunite you with your family. So we made that initial step with your family to make sure that if there's any opportunity for you to get back home, we can mediate and get you back home to your families. And our counselors are all trained to do that, to work with you at whatever level. If there are goals that you have, short-term goals, medium-term goals, or long-term goals, the organization will work with you to get you back into mainstream society. So we have a number of programs. There's a shelter as well, and then there's rehab program for those that are on drugs and other substances that say to us, I want to come off the street. And we work with our partners, whether it be psychiatric hospital, Verdant House, and then they come back to us for the reintegration program. So there are a lot of services that we offer. People are utilizing it. But what we found is that the persons that are coming on the street, which is those that are just being affected by homelessness, are utilizing the service more than those that are seasoned on the streets. And those persons that have been on the street for 5 and 10 years, it is quite difficult to get them to transition fast enough, because you have to bring in a number of organizations. You have to make sure the person themselves want to look at rehabilitation as an option to getting back on the street. Most of them will hold on to the fact that somebody said they can give me a job, so let me hold out. Somebody talked to me about this, so let me hold out. And then they realize 6-7 months down the line, it didn't happen. Somebody else may tell them the same thing again, and then they're staying on the street with this hope and this dream that somebody's going to help them, and they don't move from the situation. You may not like how we do things. You may not always subscribe to our rules or regulations, but they're there for a purpose. They're there to protect you. They're there to help you. And sometimes as well, that is the cause of people not coming to the organization. They don't want to follow the rules. We've got persons that will come with 6 and 7 bags. We can't hold 6 and 7 bags because we don't have the facility. And on top of it, the things that are in the bags are not even, worth keeping in some cases. We're not just talking about clothes. We're talking about hoarding food and hoarding plastic containers and different things that they don't need. So that is a problem with some people. And they don't want to do what it takes to reach the goal. Just give me food, I good. Just let me sleep in the shed, I good. And that is not what the organization stands for. Yes, we will help you and tailor the program to suit you, but at the same time, we want to see you moving forward, to see you rehabilitated, and to see you getting back into mainstream society. In some cases, we may have jobs, and persons say, well, I don't want that job, I want this job. I said to them all the time, I could only give you what I have, but you can work your way up the ladder to whatever you want to be in life. That's fine. This is not the end all to where you want to be. This is just a starting phase. In most cases, the program works. We can see up to 80 clients a week, and it works. And you have to build that relationship and work with them and work with them and work with them to get them to accept the program, come off the street, and get back into mainstream society. It is a process. It's not an overnight thing with people that find themselves homeless, especially when the homelessness has been so long.